Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're plunging into, well, a topic that's really reshaping classrooms and careers. Generative Artificial Intelligence, GAI. We hear a lot about its potential, sometimes its perils, but what about the students, the people actually using it for learning, day in, day out? What do they really think?
It's a crucial question right now.
Our source for this deep dive is a really interesting online poll. It was done by Dr. Marvin Starominki-Uehara from Temple University, Japan. He surveyed 15 of his students' business, environmental sciences, and their opinions, well, they're quite candid. They give us a crucial window into this AI-powered future.
Yeah, a small group, but some really rich insights.
Exactly. So our mission today is to pull out the key nuggets from what they said, cut through the hype, and understand the reality of GAI in education. And honestly, what we found might surprise you. So as you started looking at these student responses, what was the first thing that really jumped out? Anything striking right off the bat?
Oh, definitely. What immediately hit me was this powerful contradiction. You had nearly every student, I think it was 92%, saying they're excited about using GAI for learning.
Wow, okay. High excitement.
Right, but then here's the twist. A full third of those same students, the enthusiastic ones, also admitted they're genuinely scared of it.
Scared. That's quite a paradox. What does that tell us? It's clearly not just a simple tech is good or tech is bad thing for them.
Exactly. It shows they aren't just blindly adopting it or rejecting it either. They're really grappling with it quite maturely, actually, seeing the promise, but also the perils. They get the power, the efficiency, but they're also wrestling with these deeper concerns, maybe even existential ones, about what it means for their own thinking.
Okay, so let's unpack that excitement first. How are they actually using GAI in their day-to-day academic life? What's it look like?
Well, the poll shows they're basically treating it like a Swiss Army knife for schoolwork. Things like breaking down really dense papers, getting ideas flowing for brainstorming, finding new angles when they're stuck on research.
Yeah, I can see that being useful.
And even instant translation of foreign texts. Really practical stuff.
And was there one use that stood out above the others?
There was research assistance. That was the big one. 85% cited that, digging into topics, pulling together information from different places.
Synthesizing information.
Right, which makes sense, doesn't it? It highlights GAI's immediate strength as this kind of information accelerator. It helps learners get a handle on huge amounts of info quickly, avoid that feeling of being totally overwhelmed, gets them to that first base of understanding faster.
Makes sense. But you mentioned they're not naive, they have fears.
Yeah.
So what specific concerns did they bring up? What are the downsides they see?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. The perceived risks. They worried about becoming lazy academically.
Classic concern.
Right, and losing their own unique voice in their writing, or just letting the AI do the actual thinking part for them.
That's a big one.
And maybe most striking, almost a third voiced this really sophisticated worry that GAI might actually harm their cognitive development.
Wow, that's profound coming from students.
It is. They seem to understand that learning isn't just getting the answer. It's the mental effort, the workout you need to get there.
That's incredibly astute. Identifying this sort of, digital laziness risk to their own brain development. Does this connect to older ideas in education, or is this specific to AI?
I think it echoes those long-standing debates, active versus passive learning. But GAI intensifies it somehow.
How so?
Because it's not just about remembering facts anymore. It's about the core processes, inquiry, analysis, synthesis. They're basically asking, if the tool does all that heavy lifting, what's left for my brain to do? That's some serious self-awareness.
Definitely. So moving beyond how they use it, what about which tools? There are so many out there now.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. Did one tool emerge as the clear favorite, the go-to?
It's interesting. Despite all the hype and marketing around specific platforms, nope. No single tool really dominated.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. It looks like students are still very much in an experimental phase, trying different ones out, maybe using this one for research, that one for writing.
Mixing and matching?
Exactly. It suggests the whole GAI landscape for education is still really fluid, wide open, no clear winner in the classroom just yet.
Okay, that's interesting. The poll also asks about something really important. Fairness, access. The whole question of whether paying for premium AI gives you an edge academically.
Big debate.
What do the students think?
Well, on this point, the results were crystal clear. 0%. Absolutely none of the students agreed that paying for a subscription leads to better grades or better performance in class.
0.
Yeah.
That's a statement. Why do you think that is? Are the free tools just good enough? Or is it something deeper?
It could be both, I suppose. It might mean the free versions are powerful enough for what they need academically, or, and this is maybe more interesting, it could suggest they believe success really depends more on how you use the tool, your strategy, rather than which version you have access to.
So the skill matters more than the subscription tier.
Seems like it. It's about the intelligent application, not just the features list.
Got it. And maybe the most critical point they seem to grasp, GAI's biggest challenge, perhaps, that it makes it incredibly easy to just not try, to avoid the effort.
Yes. Almost all of them agreed GAI becomes a problem when it's just a shortcut, not a real learning aid.
I can definitely see that. I mean, even using it for research, you have to consciously make sure you're still doing the thinking, the synthesizing, not just copy pasting its summary, right?
Absolutely. And the fact that students themselves recognize this so clearly is really key. It shows they're thinking critically about that line. You know, when does it actually help me learn and when does it get in the way? That distinction is vital for using it responsibly.
Which leads us right to the next big question, doesn't it? How do we help students use it wisely? How do we empower them? And the poll did offer something encouraging here, right? About specific courses.
Yes, it did. Students gave really high marks to summer courses they took that specifically taught them how to use GAI more effectively.
So direct instruction helps.
It seems crucial. This really spotlights the need for explicit education in AI literacy. They don't just want the tools, they want the training. Guidance on using them well, responsibly. And when you dig into what they're asking for, it's quite specific. They mentioned wanting programs that offer personalized multimodal literacy support.
Okay, personalized multimodal literacy support.
Okay.
Can you break that down a bit? What does that actually mean in practice? It sounds like more than just a here's how not to plagiarize lecture.
Oh, much more. Multimodal means helping them use AI across different formats, not just text, but maybe images, video, interactive stuff, things relevant to how they communicate now. And personalized means tailoring that guidance to their specific learning needs and styles. Crucially, these programs also need to focus on keeping the student in charge, prioritizing human agency. Plus, embedding critical thinking, socio-emotional skills, and of course, tackling the big issues like equity and privacy. It's really a holistic approach they're asking for.
A really comprehensive view of AI literacy.
Exactly.
So let's pull this all together. What does this mean for you listening, for the future of learning? What's the big picture emerging here? It seems like we're seeing a generation that's, well, they're not scared of tech, but they're not blindly worshiping it either.
Pragmatic experimenters, maybe?
Yeah, I like that. Pragmatic experimenters. They see GAI as this incredibly powerful tool, but one that demands wisdom to use properly. They're excited by the efficiency, sure, but also really concerned about keeping hold of critical thinking, creativity, real intellectual growth.
And the pieces seem to be falling into place, don't they? The tech is here, the students are ready, and thinking about it quite deeply. There's even broad agreement on the pros and the cons. AI is already changing higher education. That's not really up for debate anymore. The real question is, are we going to be deliberate, intentional about how we shape that change?
These students are kind of showing us the path, aren't they? Embrace what GAI can do, but stay super vigilant about its limits. Use it to enhance learning, definitely not replace it, because the goal isn't just, faster assignments or better grades.
Right. Yeah.
It's about becoming better thinkers, more creative, more informed citizens.
And this deep dive really underscores that students aren't asking for GAI to be banned or for it to just run wild. They're asking for guidance, thoughtful help on how to use it well. So thinking about that desire for AI literacy, what does that really imply for educators, for institutions, and maybe for you personally? How can you take this wisdom, this student perspective, and apply it in your own learning or your work?
It seems the conversation has shifted, hasn't it? It's less about if we use AI and much more about how we learn to master it for genuine human growth.